Hello, everyone, and welcome to what I believe is the second um, tactical pause I think we've done. And I want to do a quick one here. I promised it on Friday. I was pretty worked up on Friday, so I wanted to do one today. As I was going to do this weekend, I was going to do it yesterday. I got busy. Let me move my mic so you can see my awesome new flag. Check that out. How's that? How's that new flag for you? Yeah, that's the new one I picked up. Very happy with that one, so I thought I'd make it the backdrop today. Hey, quick little tactical pause here for the for today. I want to talk about the memo. We're going to talk about the memo and to release the hounds and probably a couple other things too. I'm probably going to hit on real quick, but the memo being the most important. Look, it came out. I don't know. I guess it depends on what side of the fence you're on. You know, if you're a Democrat or leaning to the left, Nunez and Trump and the Republicans were the worst thing all week. How dare they release this memo? And the Democrats all read it. Let me just make that clear. And the Republicans read it, like in a skiff in a secure room. And hey, what's up, Toby, Paul, Mom, Dad, everybody? Cool. I see you guys in there. So they all read it. I just want to. I was flying home this last week. I was down with Toby's, in Texas for the show Tuesday night. So I was flying home and I was thinking about it on the flight home Friday night. Read it on the plane, downloaded it while I was at work, and then read it on the plane. So the Dems were all crazy about it all week, and Nunez by Thursday, their talking points they had circulated was obviously that Nunez is the worst thing since Satan, if not worse than Satan. How dare he release this? Blah blah blah. So it came out. I don't know what everyone thought was going to be in it. I guess everyone thought it was going to be a lot worse, and I think the reason why everyone thought it was going to be worse is because the Democrats were having a meltdown about it, and all their talking points and all their the people they sent out there to discredit it were acting like it was going to have collection methods and sources in it because it was going to be a grave threat to national security. It was going to be this this thing that was going to bring down our country and Russia was going to win. I mean, the way they made it sound. We were going to have the names of every agent that works for us in intelligence gathering, the code to the nuclear football, and pardon the pun for today being Super Bowl Sunday, and just like everything in the world, that every secret we had was going to be in this 4-page memo drafted by Trey Gowdy. So it came out, and I think it was kind of what we thought was in it. I think probably most people suspected was going to be in it. I mean, there was no. I would agree there were no startling revelations from those of us that have been following and what we expected. However, what it was the proof or evidence that what we all suspected or what we kind of heard as rumors on the Hill had been saying the whole time. There were some new names in there. There were some people that had been mentioned in the news in the last year that kind of popped up in it. But it was just what was surprising. I think the biggest thing that came out of it was, wow, they really did kind of use falsified information to get a FISA warrant. And by the way, it has to renew every 90 days. So the memo didn't say what they used. So maybe there's something there. But every 90 days they went back and got a renewal of this ability to spy on Americans. So the question is, was there new info, or does this FISA judge look at the FBI? Is the FISA judge biased politically? Is another question. I guess question 2. Question 3 is the FISA judge so swooned by the FBI and the Department of Justice that, well, if they're bringing it to me, it's got to be legit, right? If it's the latter, it's the last one, I guess. Then that's sad because he's the checks and balances to the FBI and the DOJ, not me. I mean, the reason why they have to go to a court and present their evidence to a judge is so they can't just go turn on the cameras and the microphones. And like many of you, I know so many people put the little piece of tape over their camera and their laptop, but so you can't do that, and they can't just spy on you. You have to go to a judge, and hopefully someone that is a scholar of the Constitution and the law to warrant why you want to spy on an American. So that's the reason why you have the judge. So I hope it wasn't that the judge was just like, oh, it's the FBI. They would never lie to me. They're totally on the up and up. I also hope it isn't number 2. That isn't number 2 in the fact that they just not rubber stamp everything, but that they just continue just to go down the same path, and this judge is biased and he's political and just says, well, this is against Trump, so yeah, totally cool. That's worse than number 3, I guess. Or yeah, it would be worse than number 3 in my opinion. If and comment, I'm watching on a Facebook chat. Hey Tracy, hi mom. It would be worse, I guess, if he was biased and Lady Justice truly wasn't blind, but had an eye poking out that said, oh yeah, Trump, I don't like him. So that'd probably be worse than him just being made over by, the Department of Justice and FBI. So the question is number 1, and this is a valid question regardless what side it's on. Or the option number 1, I guess, is were they preventing more information that maybe the Republicans did not document? Were they skewed in their memo? And they talked about, Papadopoulos, and they talked about the dossier as the first reason to get it. So the next 2 or 3 times they went and did it with every 90 days, was that because of was that, I don't know why my frames per second are so choppy. I'm sorry about that. I'm noticing that it's I'm not getting grain for it, but I'm hoping the sound's coming through okay. Maybe someone will let me know in the chat. That's weird how my frames per second are pretty choppy. Anyway, so is there something there? Is there something in this 10-page Democrat memo that's coming out there to refute it that's going to say something different? I don't know. I kind of went on a different topic there. But the thing is, I guess what stood out to me of the 4-page memo is we got why the first reason went in. It's because of the Steele dossier, which is, of course, the whole premise of the memo is they did not divulge to the judge that it was paid political hack job by the DNC. And by the way, FBI, like he got paid $160,000 by the DNC in the Hillary campaign. And then the FBI paid him another $106,000 for the same information. Like, they had to pay him too. The dude made $320,000 or something to write up this dossier to say all the stuff he said. Thanks for the feedback there from my brother from another mother and my mom. So anyways, we don't hear the other part. Maybe that's what's in the Democrat memo, but maybe it isn't. Maybe, which really scares me, because if there is nothing in the memo, if there's no other evidence, if no one even talks about, like, oh, you guys, the Republicans released what was in the first time, but the reason why we kept getting it is because some really bad stuff and we can't talk. I mean, even if that, it'd give me some solace as an American that maybe we won't, there was a reason why they renewed a couple times, but either way, the memo came out. It looks pretty damning on the FBI and the DOJ. It really, it makes Comey look like a fool. And everything else, and then Comey comes out and tweets that that's it. Like he didn't know what was in the memo. Like all of his buddies of him that weren't telling him what was in the memo. McCabe and all those guys. But then what got me even more over the weekend, the reason why I didn't tweet do this yesterday, I kind of wanted to see what the reaction was. The Dems are all trying to they're all with the same attitude. I guess that was a new talking point because Comey said it, or that someone told him to say it. Was, oh, that's it? Like there was nothing. It fell flat. Like there's nothing there. Like what a waste of time. All that hoopla for nothing. Kind of like Y2K. Remember? We got all excited about Y2K. Nothing happened at Y2K, and everyone's like, oh, that was all for nothing. It's the reason why we spent the millions of dollars in prep of Y2K, so nothing would happen. The reason why it was pretty uneventful. The planes didn't fall out of the sky, buildings didn't melt, blah blah blah. Sorry, I digress. So the Dems all read the memo. The ones in the intelligence community were in the briefings. They read the memo. The Republicans read the memo. They all got to go to the White House or wherever to go read it. They freaked out. Oh my God, the sky's going to fall. The nuclear missiles are going to launch. We're going to hand over our whole country to Russia. ISIS is going to win. Blah blah blah. I'm exaggerating. The memo come out and they're like, "There's nothing there. That's it." You knew what was in it, so your fake surprise over the weekend, over the last 48 hours of nothing there, it's all for nothing, is complete crap, because you knew what was in it. So that's your best you can do, is see there's nothing there, and that's what, and have the media, mainstream media and Hollywood tweet it and everything to try to push your talking point of, see, there was nothing there. There was no silver bullet, There was no pictures of Hillary and Comey getting it on or whatever they wanted to act like it was. No, that what was there was bad enough. That's the reason why you're freaking out about it. That just, I don't see how people aren't getting that. The hypocrisy of a whole week of every Democrat talking head and mouthpiece as we got closer Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. After it went to President Trump and he approved it, sent it back to Nunez and they had to sign off on it. Every one of them having a meltdown and then acting like there was nothing there. Like it was, what's that word, a new one? A nothing burger, I think Hillary used. No, there's something on that burger. And it's gonna sting for a while, kind of like jalapenos. There's jalapenos on that burger, and they made it taste good, okay, and they made it taste like they really weren't there. But my buddy Toby will tell you, here on the show, sometimes give it a day or two, it may come back and burn you a little bit. Sorry, Toby, I'd take a shot at you. I could, but I think that's it. Or my buddy Paul will tell you, drink too much Ashbach, it goes down good, or any kind of booze, it goes down good. You may pay for it later. So this may seem like nothing. There is no silver bullet or whatever you're expecting, but it could very well come back later. I don't know how it couldn't. So there is a lot to the memo. I don't, it depends on who you want to listen to. Is if they felt that there was a I don't know, a terrible thing there. But just keep that in mind. We don't know what brought on the second, third, I think maybe fourth renewal of that every 90 days, and we don't know if a judge rubber stamped it because it was the FBI and DOJ, or God forbid the judge approved it because it was against Trump. The corruption could get farther and more explosive than we could imagine. Forgive the pun using the word explosive and eating jalapenos. So that's my first thing. My second thing is, because I want to keep this in mind, that we do have a Super Bowl coming up. Hope the Eagles win. I'm a Bills fan, which means I like the Bills or anyone playing the Patriots. So I'm an Eagles fan today. So here's the second thing. McCain, who, God, that guy isn't dead yet. I mean, I think Ron Wood's the only one that's living longer than him, and every great singer that falls is got to feel bad when they die because Ron Wood's still living. Anyways, McCain is out there talking the Democratic talking point. Can someone please just go erase an R from his name and put a D? I mean, the whole world knows it, right? I mean, it's as clear, it's crystal clear as can be. He's out there talking like he represents the Republican Party, or he's a mainstay. He may have ran on the Republican ticket a few years ago. There's a reason why he lost, and it wasn't Sarah Palin at all. The guy is as crooked as they come. He's been in the bag the whole time. He is well past his usefulness. He's like cottage cheese that's about 90 days past its, or worse, 180 days past its due date. He's funky. He's rotten. And if you get around him, you're probably going to crap yourself because he's just spoiled. The guy needs to go. Someone please. I mean, he's slowly going. He's not quick enough. But the guy needs to leave Congress and quit talking like he's an expert. Or, I mean, he just needs to quit, right? He should not quit. He should quit masquerading as a Republican. I mean, Bernie Sanders is more of a Republican than frickin' McCain is. Hell, Hillary's more of a Republican. She believes in more Republican ideology than McCain does. The guy needs to go. For him to shoot his mouth off. Look, dude, your 15 minutes were over. They were when you toured the country on a bus with Sarah Palin, and they ended there. So, oh yeah, you got 2 more seconds when you went against your entire party and voted down some critical legislation there a few months ago. So you got a lot of excitement again there too. I'm sure that MSNBC, I'm sure Morning Joe would love to have you, McCain. He may even boot Micah or whatever her name is there out of the seat and let you sit there. But McCain needs to go. He is not a Republican. Do not look at him like a Republican. It'd be like Obama popping up tomorrow saying he's a Republican. Yeah, in the language of Pashto, that's babala. Which means bullshit. So anyways, look, I'll educate you too, teach you some foreign language while you're here. So, McCain needs to go. The second point, first point I'm going to hit on again, because I'm going to let you go in just a second. I've been going for a little while, 16 minutes, is that the memo was pretty damning. It just wasn't going to be a slap in your face damning thing. It has a lot. You got to read it. Take the time to read the memo. Read it word for word. Break it down. Think about what it's saying. Think about what it's saying compared to our Constitution. Think of what it's saying to our Bill of Rights, and what these people were allowed to do if that is all encompassing, again, if there's more info out there and the Republicans hit it and the Democrats come out with their 10-page memo and it's not going to, and it doesn't get refuted, then that really makes the Republicans memo just look as political hogwash as anything else, right? You know, if they're only telling truly one side and there's a whole bunch of more damning evidence that they didn't release to make themselves look good, then I mean, they'll lose everyone's trust and confidence. I mean, the whole thing of this transparency that they were saying, it has to be truly transparent. It means put everything out there. So I'm as excited to see the Democrats' 10-page one that I guess is going to start going through the approval process tomorrow as I was to see this one. They're supposed to be going to rip this one apart point by point. We will see. A lot of times when you see a left and a right go against each other on the media or on an interview or something, one side asks very pointed questions and asks for a yes or no answer, and the other side spins it and talks around it all the time. And I'll say that for either sides. So if the Dems' 10-page memo is truly more evidence and the whole story, if you would, or maybe more of a complete story, then it better be that. If it's just what they said ain't true because we don't like it, and their 10 pages is just hogwash, then the Republican memo is gonna stand pretty good, regardless. I guess it's how the media portrays it and how you perceive it. But I will just ask you one last time. Go online. You can find the memo. Read it cover to cover. Read the whole thing. Read it by sentence and by paragraph, and think about what it is saying. Don't just gloss over it, half read it while you're watching the Super Bowl during the commercial and the halftime. Take time and think about it and digest what it says. Just like you do when you sit down with the Holy Bible and you think about what Jesus is saying in those verses in Scripture. When you think about what the books that are saying in the Bible, or any other thing that you're really into, that you read, you digest it, think about it. Do that with, it's just 4 pages, not that long. Don't let the media guide you one. Don't let me guide you one way. Hopefully I didn't. But take a tactical pause. That's why it's the name of this one. Take a knee, drink some water, change your socks. If you're in the military, you know why I said all that. And just read it and understand it and know why it's there. And then let's see what the Dem 10-page one comes out with. So that's all I want to do. I don't want to take any more time. 18 minutes is about 6 o'clock. I think we have a big football game coming up here in just a few minutes. I want to thank you all for tuning in to this Tactical Pause here at Stu and the Nunn. I'm Stu. I want to thank our Enlisted 9 Fight Company, our sponsor, which I saw a guy at church today wearing one of the shirts. I was totally stoked about that when I talked to him. But Enlisted 9 Fight Company, our sponsor. Check us out on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. Find us on stewandthenunn.com. You can find us on all of our venues, Spreaker, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitch, and Periscope. Follow us on Twitter, like our page. And from Toby and myself, thank you guys very much for tuning in. Enjoy the football game. Read the memo. And God bless America, and God bless all you. Thank you all. Good night.